Hi, Stephen from Adonit Pro. Just a quick video to compare the Adonit Pro 3 Capacitive Stylus against a regular, old school rubber rounded top one and a Windows ink digital pen. And I'll be testing it on because the Pro 3 here says it's suitable for all touch screens. So we'll see. So I'll be using a Windows ink PC here. And I'll be using my Android phone and a iPad to test it on. Now, of course, historically I've always used either a PC or a Galaxy Note type series where I'm using a digital pen. So it would be interesting to see how these compare. So let's find out. So the Adonit Pro 3 says it's good for all touchscreens, and it comes nicely packaged. Now it does seem to be made out of aluminum with the clip here at the top, so you can clip it to your pocket, and it's nicely textured, so it doesn't feel slippery. And what I do like, there is a magnet here, so putting the lid on, it works really nicely. But unfortunately, there's nowhere to put the lid. Now at the tip, there is a plastic circular piece which helps slide it across the screen when you're writing. Now this is compared to the soft rubbery texture you get on other capacitive styluses. Now, although it does glide very nicely across the glass, you do have to press really hard to get it to work. So let's see what it's like with this pen, and this is much better, much easier to write with. So that's the iPad out of the way. Let's take a quick look at an Android device. So here I'm going to be using my cell phone, using OneNote, and of course you don't get any palm rejection. But it does write really nice and smooth, and it's very responsive, and I could see me using this quite often. So using the other capacitive stylus, it's pretty much the same, but I do feel that the Adonit is a little bit more accurate. It does feel a little bit more precise. So trying a Windows ink device, a Windows PC here, and as you can see the capacitive stylus, terrible. So quickly trying the Adonit. And it's it does work, but not at all well. Pressing hard, still no good. So much for being able to work on all touchscreens. So now using a N-Trig pen, so a digital pen, you can see it's much better, much more responsive, and you'll get palm rejection as well. A quick look at sketching on my Android phone. The Adonit works great, very responsive. Now, please excuse, of course, my hopeless drawing skills, but it is very good. The other capacitive stylus works, just as well, but again, I don't feel that it's quite as accurate as the Adonit. Now, moving on to the iPad, the Adonit sketches very well, much better than the writing app using Note, so this works great. So let's check out the other capacitive stylus. And this works just as well. Again, the lack of the tip does make it feel as if it's not as accurate, but in reality it is pretty similar. Finally, testing Windows ink and some sketching, and as you can see, using the N-Trig pen, you can do various pressures of sensitivity. Works great. Moving on to the Adonit pen, it doesn't work. Press hard, misses strokes, does not work. Trying the other capacitive pen, similar results. So basically capacitive pens do not work on Windows ink devices. So to conclude then, well, without a doubt, the digital pen is the way to go. More accurate, more levels of sensitivity. If you're doing these fine sketching, in my opinion, something like this, a digital pen is it's hard to compete. And you've got the palm rejection on your computer and that type of thing, or whatever. It's certainly much better. Okay, but of course those things are more expensive. The devices you use are typically more expensive. So can you get by with one of these? And I was quite pleasantly surprised, to be honest with you. I was, particularly on my phone, taking notes. That worked really well, and I'm now considering perhaps, in meetings, just using something like this to jot down. And I did like the fact that, the tip on this, it does feel as if it's a little bit more accurate than using a spongy type thing. It just feels as if it's more accurate. It slides nicely. I was a little bit disappointed with taking notes on the iPad, that you had to press really hard to get it to work, but drawing was fine, so it might be application specific. Certainly the premise that it can be used on all touch screens is not right. You cannot use it on even this. You can't use it on a Windows Ink device, so don't even bother trying. It's not even worth trying. But if you've got it on your phone or an iPad or an Android tablet, it's certainly pretty good. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.